From the world headquarters of the first place Dallas Cowboys, it's the Star in Frisco, and it's a brand new special edition here alongside Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, and Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans as the Cowboys take down the Philadelphia Eagles 33-13 on Sunday Night Football. It was another dominant win at AT&T Stadium, their 15th consecutive home victory, and one over a team that entered with a 10-2 record. Hey, everybody in the country was waiting for this Dallas Cowboys team to defeat a good, quote-unquote, good team. They did so in emphatic fashion with their 8th game this year of a margin of victory of 20 or more. Barry, what does a win like this do for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I think it makes them one step closer to getting that home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and also gives them confidence knowing that they can match up well against one of the best teams in the National Football League.
Yeah, I just think that it just gives you a bolt of confidence because now you know that bully that was in the closet, you're no longer scared of him, right? You know that you can handle him before. You hit him in the jaw, he dropped down to his knees, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I got you. And when we see each other again, it's going to be on and popping. And I think that confidence alone is going to carry them through the playoffs.
Confidence is the only thing we're talking about here, and that's what the Cowboys are lacking against teams that had better than 500 records. They found that confidence, and they're rolling with momentum. They finna rock and roll.
5 straight wins for this Cowboys team, and a lot of it has been on the shoulders of Dak Prescott. He's in the head of that MVP conversation. Isaiah, when you look at what Dak has continued to do, may not have had his best game against Philadelphia, but he continues to lead this team to the right wins.
He's taking care of the ball. And, between taking care of the ball and finding a way to get his playmakers the ball in their hands with the ability to actually do something with it, that's all you can ask for right now from Dak. And again, being that this running game hasn't got to where you want it, to where you can start seeing him utilize the play action, you still haven't seen the best version of Dak.
Yeah, once again, and I feel like I'm saying this each and every week, but Dak Prescott had control of this game. I mean, when you look at it, this guy was able to go out there and be 56% on third down. They were able to go out there as a unit and move the ball up and down against a Philly defense that has struggled, but he was persistent. He took care of the football out there, and when this team controls the time of possession like it was, it's hard to beat this team overall.
Look how decisive he is. Look at his steps. 1, 2, 3, out. Ball is out. Boom. He knows what to do. He moves around just enough to help his receivers get open. Hey, this guy's playing with supreme confidence.
Yeah, and you could argue that this offense won the game for the Cowboys against the Seahawks in Week 13, but it was the defense that really won this game in Week 14 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Just 1 touchdown allowed, but it wasn't even from the defense. It was a defensive touchdown. They allowed 6 points overall. Barry, what impressed you the most on that side of the ball?
Well, when I look at this defense overall, I mean, they were able to go out there and force Jalen Hurts to make mistakes out there. Not only Jalen Hurts, you had A.J. Brown, you had Devontae Smith as well fumbling the football out there. So to me, this came down to turnovers because Philly was able to go out there and move the ball on Dallas, averaging 6.2 yards per play. But when it came down to it, when they got close to the end zone, Dallas did not buckle, forcing 3 forced fumbles out there, and they were able to come away with the victory.
Stefon Gilmore, Marquise Bell, those guys played well. Donovan Wilson, our safety, showed up. And if they show up again this week, the same thing should happen, turnovers.
This game was personal for the Dallas Cowboys, and you could tell because of how physical it was. This was the most physical ball game that the Dallas Cowboys have played all season, and I will run that back as many times as I need to because these guys were hitting them every single play. Everybody who decided to cross the line of scrimmage got hit in their face, and the 3 forced fumbles was a result of that.
Well, and Nate, you mentioned Stefon Gilmore, the way that he responded from early trash talk from A.J. Brown, man, it was fun to see, and they played off of that home energy at AT&T Stadium. When we come back on Special Edition, can the Cowboys take home field advantage into the playoffs? We outline the path ahead for Cowboys Nation.
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
Let's take a look at the updated NFC playoff picture. Right now, if the season ended today, the Cowboys would be the 2 seed and NFC East champions over the 10-3 Philadelphia Eagles. They currently hold the tiebreaker. However, should the Eagles win out in their final 4 games, they would control their own destiny and they would take the tiebreaker back from the Cowboys, even if the Cowboys finish at 14-3. Here's the path for the Cowboys. It's set up behind us. Week 15 against Buffalo this week. Then you got the Dolphins on the road on Christmas Eve, followed by the Detroit Lions in the final home game of the regular season, then the Washington Commanders. Isaiah, when you look at this schedule, is it possible for the Cowboys to win the division and secure some home field advantage?
I do believe so. I believe that they can win out. I believe that they're going to need a little bit of help. Philadelphia has to face the Seattle Seahawks this week, and I don't foresee them beating the Seattle Seahawks. So that'll give you an even greater opportunity if you can win out this week. But I think the big one on the schedule, okay, most people are going to say Miami because of how explosive they are. Mine's Detroit. Dallas has struggled with very physical teams, and Detroit and Dan Campbell, fighting Dan Campbell's, they bring it every single time. We can go back to last year. They were flipping guys on their head.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That Detroit matchup is going to be a heck of a matchup out there because they're physical as well. But to me, it's of the utmost importance for this team to get home field advantage. I think we all understand they're a different team at home than they are on the road. At home, 39 points per game. On the road, 23 points per game. So whatever you got to do to get one step closer to getting that home field advantage, it's of the utmost importance that you get the job done.
I said 5 weeks ago that they needed to win 6 in a row. This week, will be 6 in a row. If they win this game on the road in bad weather, this tells me that they can make this run. It don't matter what Philadelphia do because Isaiah just told you the Seahawks coming.
Philadelphia has Seattle this week, and then it's New York, Arizona, New York. They play the Giants twice in the last 3 weeks, so a chance maybe there for Tommy DeVito and company to get the job done. When you look at this Cowboys team, can they show maybe an ability to win on the road with these next 2 games against playoff caliber opponents?
Absolutely, I think so. I think they match up very well against the opponents that they have on the docket. You talk about Buffalo Bills. The thing that you talk most about is the weather. Josh Allen's been struggling under pressure, and you're going to be able to get home on him all day long.
Yeah, you got to get home on them. And that's the thing with these 2 games coming up. They're going to be completely different circumstances. Going to have some cold, rainy weather up in Buffalo this week, and then you've got a Christmas Eve holiday matchup down in South Beach. I mean, you've got Miami and Buffalo. I don't know how they're in the same division, but, hey, it works out. And the Cowboys are going to have a chance to prove themselves on the road. When we come back here on Special Edition, we're going to talk about some of these Buffalo weapons. Josh Allen and company, they've had some success throughout the season, but Stefon Diggs, is he the X factor for that Buffalo offense?
This segment was brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan. This segment is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
Did you talk to Trevon about his brother this week?
Boy, that's a good question. I would not do that.
You would not?
I would not.
Why?
Because I wouldn't put him in that spot. And I just, that's his brother, So, like, if we were playing against him, if they were, I was very much looking forward to this contest, months ago, because I am quite certain he would be wanting to travel in this game. And no matter what, I don't care if he's motioning. But no, I certainly wouldn't.
Unfortunately, we won't get the Diggs on Diggs matchup that we anticipated early in the season because Trayvon Diggs out for the season with his injury earlier in the campaign. However, we will get to see a bunch of the Cowboys' weaponry on defense against the weaponry of the Buffalo Bills. Back here with Isaiah, Barry, Nate. Let's dive into this Buffalo team, starting with Josh Allen. Nate, I'll begin with you. Still one of the most dangerous arms in football. What does he bring to the table?
Explosiveness in his arm and his running ability. But sometimes he get happy feet and he gets to getting all over the place and he'll get out of there too soon or he'll throw an interception. But I am so fearful of this guy. He's got a new offensive coordinator in Joe Brady, and I think that's calming him down a little bit.
Yeah, you talk about the happy feet. That's exactly what he has. Right now, this dude is pretty much going one read and then trying to find a lane to take off and run. Or either that or when he does decide to try to throw the ball down the field, it's usually a highly inaccurate pass or a bad decision based upon the coverage that's presented. So he's not playing his best ball right now, and he's going to have to find a way to get it figured out, just hopefully not against Dallas.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most talented quarterbacks the Cowboys defense will have to go against all season long. Big body, dual threat guy, can run you over, make all the throws, similar to our very own Isaiah Stanback right here.
I like
but Overall, this guy does turn the ball over at an alarming rate. So I feel like if they can keep him in the pocket and force him to be a pocket passer, I think it'll be a big-time advantage for this Dallas Cowboys defense.
Well, and Barry, I want to talk about the weapons he has to throw the football to as well, because he's got Stefon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dalton Kincaid. It really doesn't matter. If he can extend plays, he's got the arm talent to get it to any of these guys.
Yeah, if he can extend plays, then this secondary is in trouble right now. I mean, this group is led by Stefon Diggs, but to me, the weapon that I'm looking at is Dalton Kincaid when you talk about it. This guy is second in targets, second in receptions, has 61 receptions so far this season, and we've seen this defense struggle against pass-catching tight ends, and he has all the ability to put stress on those underneath defenders.
I concur with Kincaid.
Hey, I like
because that dude is a complete problem, and he's going to cause our safeties, especially with us playing man-to-man so frequently, he's going to cause them some issues. But you talk about the personnel across the board. Listen, this is a mismatch nightmare if you allow Josh Allen to have time. These guys are able to get free because of their abilities, and he has a cannon of an arm if he has time. So make sure that you make it disrupt their ability to get off the line of scrimmage and put some pressure on Josh Allen to force some errant throws.
Marquise Bell, study your film, man. You got this Kincaid guy. And I tell you what, the Diggs cat, he is awesome. This is where starting begins. Make sure we get a little double coverage on it.
Yeah, no, that might be the key against a guy like Stefon Diggs, with Stefon Gilmore covering him. Diggs has not had a 100-yard receiving game in 7 tries. You know who else didn't have a 100-yard receiving game before facing the Cowboys? DK Metcalf, and he ended up with 134 yards against the Cowboys. Nate, when you talk about the ground game, James Cook, Latavius Murray, both of these guys share the load, but really it's been James Cook that has taken off. What does he do well?
Oh, man, he can get outside. He can catch the ball. I mean, he would drop a few on you, too, but he's an explosive player. And the Murray guy, that's the inside runner. He's tough. He's hard. Well, these guys are both just great running backs.
Yeah, you talk about James Cook, he's pretty much Tony Pollard last year. I mean, this dude is just reincarnation of TP, his ability to be able to get outside the tackle box and utilize his speed and shiftiness. He's not the man that you want to be facing one-on-one and with open space. So you definitely want to come up there and hit him. You know, the big boy, their battle ram is going to be Latavius Murray. He's a guy who's going to come downhill and run straight through you.
Barry, when you look at this Bills defense on the opposite side, they love to get after the quarterback. They're third in pressures. They bring the sacks. If they're not getting sacks, they have maybe an open lane on the backside of the defense. What do you see with this unit?
Well, this defense, they suffered a lot of injuries. I mean, you're losing all-pro linebacker Matt Milano. You lost Pro Bowler Tre'Davious White out there, but they're still a team that can go after the quarterback like you just mentioned. Von Miller, he's starting to come alive as an edge pressure out there, but to me, the matchup that I'm going to keep my eyes on, which will be a marquee matchup, has got to be Rasul Douglas versus CeeDee Lamb out there. I assume Rasul Douglas will travel with CeeDee Lamb. There's a long cornerback, very athletic. He takes the #1 option out there. So to me, that'll be a matchup that you got to keep your eyes on.
Ed Oliver in the middle, number 91. He's a beast, and he's very athletic. You have to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, they're going to bring pressure, that front seven, if they can get after Dak Prescott. Dak's been very good under pressure this year, but this team is a little bit different. They get to the quarterback and they finish at the same time. And when we come back here on Special Edition, we're going to have Isaiah Stanback see how the Cowboys defense can take advantage of Josh Allen. At times, he can be errant with the football. Can they force some mistakes?
This segment was brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
But you know, Josh is he's a guy you could go out there and have 0 interceptions and 4 or 5 touchdowns, and he could have a game where he forces things. And you know, he's just a playmaker. He's just trying to make plays. I'm not the one to penalize it because I know what it looks like when he is making plays. You know, you watch the tape, it's all over. You see why he's just great quarterback. So I know we're the Dallas Cowboys, so I know what type of Josh we're going to get. And I don't think it's going to be the one that makes some costly decisions. I think it's going to be the one that's come to beat on us pretty bad. So I'm excited for the matchup.
Micah Parsons and the intensity that it takes to succeed in a game like this, brought to you by Reliant. Back here with Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Time now to take a deep dive into the film room of Josh Allen and this Buffalo Bills offense. 35 offensive touchdowns, leads the NFL at the moment. He also leads the NFL in giveaways as well with 17. So there's a chance to force some mistakes, but what makes Josh Allen so dangerous at the quarterback position?
Well, this dude is a large human being. He's physical, okay? He's not afraid of contact. He's fast, and this dude has an absolute cannon of an arm. There's not a throw that he cannot make. let's go ahead and take a peek at it. What can you not allow Josh Allen to do? First thing you got to do is you got to apply some pressure to him. Don't allow him to get out the pocket. Let's go ahead and play this play out. You're going to see him find his way outside the pocket, and he's going to do a good job of keeping his eyes down the field. And I want to show you guys exactly how powerful this dude's arm is. You see him set in the pocket. He's going to boom, move around, move around, move around. Now this is where he's dangerous. When he gets out here, pause it right now. Okay, now he's out on the edge. He has pressure coming right here in his face, but I want you to see where his eyes are the entire time. He is looking straight down the field, okay? Now, you will look at this and say, you know what? Nobody's open. There's a safety about 5-6 yards away from this guy. There's no way in the world he's going to throw the ball where? There's no way he's going to throw the ball 25 yards, right on the goal line right here. But before that safety can run 5 yards, wrong. He throws this thing on an absolute rope. Before that safety can run 5 yards, he throws this thing 25 yards on a freaking dime. And he is able to get it in there for a touchdown. Let's take a look at it. I want you guys to see how difficult this is. Again, his eyes are downfield. Pause it right there. He is throwing across his body as he's looking downfield. I want you to look at this window right here, okay? That's exactly who he's looking at. The ball is coming out hot fire right there. That's an absolute dime across your body. Look how fast it gets there. Extreme velocity, able to fit in an extremely small window for a touchdown. That is the danger of Mr. Allen. This dude can utilize his legs, and you have to respect the fact he can utilize his legs. But if you do come up, he could put that thing on a rope.
That was the number one thing trait-wise that had NFL scouts excited about Josh Allen making his way out of Wyoming, the arm strength. Yeah. He had an uncanny ability to push the ball down the field and do so with velocity. This kind of reminds me of Jalen Hurts, right? If Jalen Hurts has time to escape the pocket, it buys time for his receivers, his weapons to get open on the outside, build some separation. It's the same thing with Josh Allen because he has the mobility, maybe not as much mobility as Jalen Hurts, but he's got a stronger arm as well, and he's able to show that off on this next play too.
Yeah, so that's the positive, right? But here comes the negative, right? With the positive, you talked about how he's leading the league in touchdowns. He's also leading the league in turnovers, right? This dude throws the ball just randomly for whatever reason. But let's go ahead and take a peek. Right now you have two high safety, okay? Two safeties. These guys are going to drop out into a cover two. What are you doing for cover two? Well, obviously you want to stay over the top of all the receivers. Let's go ahead and play it out. What is he looking at? He's trying to get the ball to his man, Mr. Stefon Diggs. You're going to see Diggs run up, boom, run a little shake route, and he's trying to run there. Pause it. The ball is coming out right now. We just talked about the route that Diggs just ran. He ran a nice little shake route. If it's there versus too high, then awesome, right? But he's going to have to find the window. The window is right around here, okay? Let me see here. If I can get this highlighted, the window is right here. The ball has to be driven there right now. It's not. The ball's coming out right now, and what he's trying to do is he's trying to throw the ball 50 yards down the field and trying to hit him way down here. The only problem is there's two safeties that are over the top of the receiver that you're trying to get the ball to. Both of these guys have the vision to see exactly where he's going as a receiver and where the ball is going, and this ball is just terrible decision, throws it up there. Both of these safeties have opportunity for these 50-50 ball to go up there and high point it, gets an interception. That's a turnover. Those decisions are what puts the Buffalo Bills in bad situations at times. Yes, he has an arm. Yes, he can run, but he'll also give you plenty of opportunities because of decisions like that.
Yeah, that's the number one thing for the Bills is if they don't turn the football over, Josh Allen does not have a giveaway. They are 15-0 in his career whenever he doesn't turn the football over. If Dallas can force a couple takeaways, they're actually 8-9 in his career with 2 takeaways or more. So an opportunity to have some success. Is that a key to the game, or is it on the offensive side of the football? Can CeeDee Lamb and company keep the win streak rolling? We tell you when we come back.
Special edition, presented by AT&T, was brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
You know what they call December. It's winning time, and that's exactly what it is for the Dallas Cowboys. They have 4 crucial games in the month of December to try and get home field advantage as we wrap up here on Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, and Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Isaiah, your keys to the game.
Force Josh Allen to 3 turnovers.
That'll work.
Yeah, and they can do that as well if they keep him in the pocket. And that's my key. You got to keep this man in the pocket, force him to throw from there, and you'll have a huge advantage defensively.
Mozzie Smith, show up. We don't have no Jonathan Hankins. We're not talked about that injury enough. Can they run on us? If not, we win the game easily.
And this is a Buffalo team that even with Josh Allen can run the football effectively. So not having Jonathan Hankins in the middle may be a big loss for this Cowboys team. He's expected to miss with an ankle injury this week. All right, Nate, what you got? Cowboys-Bills coming up on Sunday.
Hey, man, this Aubrey kid, you're a kicker, and I'm dependent on you. Do not let me down. We need to get them by 3.
By 3 points. There it is. Nate Newton with his prediction, as he does every week here on Special Edition. Cowboys-Bills, Sunday afternoon, 3:25 kickoff. For Isaiah Berry, Nate, I'm Kyle Yeomans. We'll see you next week.